Albany County Legislature proclamations. The first proclamation that we would like to give out is in honor of one of our legislators, Sean Ward, who after tonight is stepping down, as we all know. And tonight we would like to honor him not just with the lovely cake that many of you had, but also with a proclamation expressing our respect and good wishes and thankfulness for his years of service. Just a couple of words about Sean. He's been one of our most active and dedicated members of the Albany County Legislature for 30 years. During his tenure, he served as Deputy Majority Leader from 2000 to 2015, was elected Chair of the Legislature in 2016. Beyond his many legislative contributions, he also chaired the Civic Center Committee for 10 years, served as Executive Assistant to the Green Island Mayor. He was also the Green Island Town Supervisor from 1988 to 1995. The other thing about Sean, I think we all know, has been beyond his years of service as a public servant in Albany County and Green Island, really making a mark just across the community in so many ways. I would just say personally, one of the things that I know, and many of you share this thinking about Sean, is that he is one of our legislators that is always thoughtful, always does the work, always does the analysis. He is a steady hand. He's got a great mind. He always is looking to make sure that we are doing the right thing in our legislation. He thinks things through in a way that very few people do. He is a pleasure to work with. I'm going to miss you so much. You've been such a great asset to me personally, and I appreciate that so much. And I know the rest of the legislature feels the same. We are going to miss you so much, Sean, and we wish you so much good wishes in your new chapter. We know you're going to be the South Carolina pickleball champion pretty soon, and just enjoying all of the good work with your family that I know that you're looking forward to. So thank you on behalf of the Albany County Legislature. Come on up.
Thank you all. I'm going to miss all of you here. It's been a good run. We're in my 30th year here, and I want to thank, my colleagues in the legislature, our staff, who work so hard to make us look good every day. I just told them that today. And I have a lot of friends and family in the back here who snuck in while I was talking that I didn't see. But thank you very much. And I'm hopeful that my replacement is a step up from me. We trained her well, and it's up to this legislature to make the appointment, but hopefully we go through the process and we get somebody who can represent the 16th district in a good way and work with all of you together to get the job done here in Albany County. And as for pickleball, the South Carolina champion right now retired from Albany County in August and entered the tournament a month later and won it. So I had to dethrone an Albany County resident first to get it. So, but it's something we're looking forward to get down closer to my family and to recreate a little bit and stay in shape in our senior years. And thank you. It's been a pleasure, really. Thank you.
For those who don't know, my friend said like you know earlier, I doubled. Even though she was talking about me a lot, it's okay. Don't worry. But all kidding aside, as long as I've been here, that's 44 years. I remember when Bill McNulty approached me several years ago and told me he was thinking about getting out and his replacement was going to be a young guy, his name was Sean Ward. And I said to Bill, well, Bill, I know Sean. He was with my son back in the league, in baseball and all the sports. Why him? But as he come in, and I watched him grow, and I watched his whole career, his whole movie, the Village of Green Island, active in community and Cohoes, and he's always been civic minded. And I think a lot of it we thank his lovely wife, how we work here. Oh, she's back there. Lovely family, lovely people, and I wish him the best of luck, and I honestly can say it's somebody I'm gonna miss, because we go back a lot of years, back on Sundays and stuff. Congratulations. And I think Frank Canisso has been a leader a lot of years, even though he likes to talk, I believe he should say something. We drove the bridge like this for the first 40 years.
Yeah, Sean and I go way back, and I have to say one thing. All the years he put in, the time I put in, we never had a word. We never had a problem. We went over many, many resolutions. And we always seemed to hit it off with no problems. And he's certainly going to be missed. I gave him my partner's address, doesn't live far from him, plays pickleball, plays golf.
Right up in the alley.
I'm sure that they'll be seeing each other down there. His lovely family, many, many nights, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. I would call, disturbed him, I'm sure, but never a problem. His wife was always cordial, and it's hard to find partnerships like that. There's not many people who could say that, but Sean, it was always what's in the best interest of the legislature, and he was always upfront, straight up, and again, never a problem. Thank you, Sean, for all the years.
I just want to echo Frank had said, and, you know, but one thing that wasn't mentioned here tonight is he's a gentleman through and through. Anytime any of us on both sides of the aisle needed a favor or advice, this gentleman was there for all of us. So with that, we'll wind it up.
We also have, as I mentioned, another soon departure from the legislature, although this is not her last meeting. She will be with us through the end of the year. But Allison McLean Lane is also going to be departing for some new chapters of her own. Allie has spent 11 years in the legislature and is one of the most ardent advocates on behalf of your constituents, just exemplifying the spirit of dedication that exists throughout the county. In 2006, Allie joined the Colony Democratic Committee to become more politically engaged, and the rest, as they say, is history. She also is one of those individuals that dedicates a lot of her time to helping others succeed in their own races, and has done that for many of us throughout the county. She also, I would say, is one of our members of the legislature that we can always depend on to do additional research on thorny topics that we are struggling with. She also spends a lot of time drafting her own local laws and other resolutions, using all the skills and talents that she draws on in her day job, and we always appreciate that. I think about redistricting and how that was such a tough issue that we were all grappling with, and I think the body of work that you produced during that time was really not just helpful in that discussion, but was really helpful for all of us to understand kind of the sweeping implications. And I know there were many, many compliments about your role in helping to get that done. So appreciate that. Many of us know this already, but Allie also has a very steeped career in Albany County in public service, works in the state legislature for Assembly Member Phil Stack, as well as in other roles throughout the county in civic and other local organizations. Your contributions to public service are without without parallel, and we appreciate that so much. We are very delighted where you're going to be going next, and we know that in your new role as the commissioner, the Democratic commissioner at the Board of Elections, we're going to see a lot of you, and you're going to help us in new and different ways. I know you have a couple more meetings, but we are so happy to also honor you this evening with a plaque and a proclamation. So thank you, Ally.
This 11 years has actually been an educational one for me, and I want to impart that what I learned here was that I've met 38 other people who are from completely different backgrounds and people that I would have never met otherwise. And I have learned from this body that my experience in life is not everybody else's experience. And for that, I am truly grateful to each and every one of you, because I will carry that for the rest of my life. To know that you cannot just take somebody at face value, and you have to know and get to know them. I have forged friendships in this body that I know that I will have for a lifetime. And I have to tell you, I'm really gonna miss this. Really going to miss it. So I cannot thank you enough, and thank you for all being my friend.
Okay, we have two other proclamations we would like to give out this evening on behalf of the Albany County Legislature. The next one is in honor of Veterans Day. We are presenting a proclamation on behalf of the legislature to Jacqueline Jones, who is a dedicated U.S. Navy veteran, community leader, and advocate for veterans' rights. She's worked tirelessly to defend and protect our nation's security. She has also held various prestigious positions in state and local departments. She's including serving as the Veterans Liaison for the Department of Transportation. She is also the first woman and the first African-American leader, commander of the North Albany American Legion Post 1610. And we thank Jackie for her service. And Wanda, do you want to come up and do this?
For those of you who don't know, Jacqueline is my daughter, and I'm very, very, very proud of her. when she went into the service, I was surprised, even though she did say she was going to do it, she was determined to do it. And she served in Desert Storm. And I'll never forget when all of them left to go. For those of you who haven't experienced loved ones leaving you and having to go into service, I remember sitting in church because I wound up with my grandson who's sitting back there. I had to take him because they were going, both her and her husband at that time, both of them were going to Desert Storm. And I was sitting in church and found out that I wasn't the only one that had to get their grandchildren or their nieces or their nephews. And so her daughter also serves in the Air Force. And so I'm very, very proud of her. My father also served in World War II, and hopefully next month when he is honored, there are some things that will come out about him too. But Jackie, I'm proud of you. One thing we did, we raised them to be community servants. I found that also being in the service and meeting her other people that she's with at that post, these people are really dedicated servants as far as the community is concerned. She, during the pandemic, fed hundreds of families. Not only did she didn't start there, she was doing it before, but she took it on. She knows how to gather a crowd. She knows how to feed people, clothe people, and it's something that she is doing right to this day at that post. So Jackie, I just want you to know how much I love you, how proud I am of you.
I'm not a person of many words. I just want to say thank you for this recognition. I'm gratefully appreciative of this recognition as I continue to move forward in serving our community. I thank you all for what you do for us on a daily basis in serving our community as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Our next proclamation that we are excited to recognize is several Albany County high schools for participating and implementing the Seal of Civic Readiness program. I'd invite Susan Larillier to come on up. This is a wonderful initiative that Susan has been taking part in and helping to recognize. It was created by the New York State Education Department to help our students gain a deeper understanding of civic responsibility. We have many participating high schools. As you can see, we invite you all up to be recognized, and thank you so much for your participation in this important program. Susan.
Thank you, Chairwoman. I'm glad you all are here. It's fitting to be the last item on our proclamation agenda following the great work of all the civic leaders that we recognize tonight. So today we're excited to recognize several Albany County high schools for implementing the Seal of Civic Readiness program. This wonderful initiative was created by the New York State Education Department and helps our students gain a deeper understanding of civic responsibility, preparing them to become informed citizens. What is the Seal of Civic Readiness? Well, the Seal of Civic Readiness is awarded to students who demonstrate a high level of civic knowledge, skills, and engagement. It represents a student's commitment to public service and civic involvement. Why does this program matter? It matters because it isn't just about recognizing academic achievement, it's about giving students the tools and experiences they need to be active participants in their communities. Through civic projects, service learning initiatives, and hands-on activities, students learn the real-world impact of civic engagement and develop skills that will serve them throughout their lives. Tonight, we're proud to honor the high schools in Albany County that have already embraced this program. The Albany Leadership Charter School for Girls, Albany High School, Burn Knox Westerlo Junior Senior High School, Clayton A. Bowden High School in Voorheesville, Cohoes High School, Colony Central High School, Green Tech High Charter School, Guilderland High School, Shaker High School, and Waterville Junior Senior High School. We as the legislature strongly encourage all high schools in Albany County to consider implementing this program. It's an incredible opportunity to give students hands-on experience in civic engagement and helps them develop into responsible, well-rounded citizens. Thank you all and all our educators and students who are involved in making this program a success. Together, we can ensure that our young people in our community are prepared to make a real difference. So thank you very much. Thank you for all you do. So how should,
Admin staff in the back, and then all the students with the front for a group picture.
evening, everyone, and welcome. I'm Joanne Cunningham, and I am the chair of the Albany County Legislature. The rules of the Albany County Legislature allow for a period of public comment before our monthly meetings. Our rules prohibit members of the public from questioning legislators and prohibit us from questioning you. This is your time to speak and our time to listen. In accordance with our rules of order, speakers will be allowed 2 minutes each, and I ask everyone to please silence their cell phones. Clerk, please call the roll.
Beston. Bergdorf. Here. Clay. Clary.
Here.
Collins. Camiso.
Here.
Conway.
Here.
Cunningham.
Here.
Demolowitz.
Here.
Drake.
Here.
Efacoro.
Here.
Ethier. Feeney.
Here.
Fine. Grimm.
Here.
Andrew Joyce. Ray Joyce.
Here.
Kuhn. LaRilliard. Lakakis.
Here.
Lockhart. Mariello. Mayo.
Here.
McLaughlin. McLean Lane. Miller. Petto. Purley.
Here.
Plosky. Reedy. Reinhardt. Ricard. Robinson. Rosano. Simpson. Smith. Ward.
Here.
Whalen. Willingham. I have 36 present.
Clerk, please read the name of the first speaker.
Carol Waterman.
Two.
2 minutes.
Okay, cutting right now. Okay, I have way more than 2 minutes worth, but anyway, I know you're not allowed to raise your hands, but you can just nod. How many of you smoke tobacco products? Well, the thing is that you do, as do I. We're all involuntary smokers. And prevention efforts not only reduce the number of deaths among smokers and secondhand smokers, but it reduces air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution. This, in addition to being a health issue, is a major environmental issue as well. Now, when I get up and speak here, I always assume, especially when I'm doing some of my more controversial stuff, that some of you, of course, don't agree with me. But recently, I saw something never before when I was speaking. A group of people over here looked really surprised by something I said. And what I had said was that many countries are ahead of us on anti-tobacco laws. And I can't, I mean, I don't have time to list them, and I probably wouldn't anyway. It wouldn't surprise you to know that can you hear me all right? Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was asking if any of you were smokers, and I said we all are. We're involuntary smokers. Okay. You look surprised when I said many countries are way ahead of us on anti-tobacco laws. They are. And it won't surprise you to know that Canada's one of them. They always
15
have been.
seconds.
But Mexico has been touted as, I'm quoting, one of the world's strictest anti-smoking laws. The poster country for all this is Uruguay, and they have been ahead of us. I'll be really quick about this. When one of their laws, plain packaging laws, was overturned, but then they challenged it in courts, and their courts ruled children and adolescents' rights must prevail over corporate rights. We don't have that here. And that violations of the right to health
Time.
are a civil rights issue, and I guess I'm done. Okay.
Lester Rosing, Wig.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lester Rosenzweig, and I'm an Albany resident, and representing a group called Zero Waste Capital District. You might have heard of us. We do composting and education. We do advocacy. We're at Tulip Fest and other festivals collecting food waste and recycling bottles and things like that. We advocate to the legislature, the state, the federal government on issues related to the environment and sustainability. Last week, I believe I sent out an email to all the legislators concerning our process for building a reuse center in the Capital District. And this would model what's already being done in the Finger Lakes, Ithaca region, which is very successful. Ulster County is in the process of developing one. They have a plan. It's about 30, 40 pages of what they're going to be doing in Ulster County. We work with Columbia County and other counties as well in the area. But I wanted to highlight what we're doing. This is, we have grants to figure out where we're going to locate this. It should be in a economically deprived area, accessible to transportation, because we expect people to come there to buy things, whether it's used furniture, clothing, things like that. We would have workshops to reuse furniture and things like that, stuff that's being thrown away. Where you have colleges that at the end of the
15
semester,
seconds.
they throw everything out and put it on the curb. That's no good. It's just everything's filling up our landfills. And this is a way to keep things out of the landfill, to reuse it, to make money, to provide training and employment to disadvantaged people, workshops on fixing equipment and things like that. The program in the Finger Lakes, they have 35 employees at this point. Their profits are a few $1 million as a nonprofit, so it works very well. We want the municipalities such as yourself to be involved. And Nicole has a handout, which is our community meetings. Our next one is December 11th at the Unitarian Church here in Albany, but it will be a Zoom meeting as well. So we hope any of you can participate or contact me if you have other questions about getting involved in this project. Thank you.
Mike McGlynn.
Hello. My name is Mike McGlynn. I live in Waterville. Thank you for permitting me to speak about global warming and county government, human resource policies, protecting our neighbors' environmental health standards. The Times-Union published opinion of Mr. McCoy about public-private collaboration using the AT&T Climate Resilient Communities Initiative is interesting. The Albany County Heat Health Profile indicates direct impacts of extreme heat on health include heat-related illness and even death. The 2022 County Climate Resilient Plan identifies 20% of residential parcels at a major climate risk, 5% at a severe climate risk, and only 1% at extreme climate risk. The 2024 Priority Climate Action Plan for the Capital Region identifies the built environment sector as a source of 31% of the greenhouse gas emissions in the Capital Region. Implementation of the County Health Improvement Plan to prevent chronic diseases such as asthma needs constitutional environmental health standards and inspections of residential buildings. The County Health Department, with municipal climate smart communities, may obtain state funds to conduct environmental health inspections and residential energy assessments for the AT&T initiative analysis of the data. A starting point may be the recent City of Albany's rental vacancy study that identifies vacant
15
residential
seconds.
What?
15 seconds.
15 seconds?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I'll give you 20. How about that? And we'll
All right.
hand it out.
The best that I can tell you is that you can do something about it, all right? There's programs, plans, and other things. But I want to read this. As you know, the State Public Service Commission is considering National Grid's proposed utility rate increases throughout the Capital Region. And the 2024 Extreme Heat Annex of our State Comprehensive Emergency Management Plan stipulates state assistance will serve as a supplement to local actions and will typically be made after local resources are exhausted. In addition, our recently elected president has indicated his economic policy prioritizes allocation of federal resources to states and communities loyal to him. All right? Therefore, as global warming influences our environment, I urge you to enhance municipal government policies to protect our constitutional human rights from those willing to subjugate our neighbors to unhealthy living conditions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lynn Jackson.
My name is Lynn Jackson, and I live in Albany South End. In light of the election last week, Albany County will need to do more to protect its most vulnerable populations, especially the homeless. I hope that the Albany County Legislature will start a program of universal basic income. I believe that a program like that would reduce homelessness. People without income often have no working cars, and getting to various places to apply for assistance is challenging. It takes a lot of time. Giving just a little assistance of $500 or $1,000 a month would probably be enough to keep people in their homes. I really hope the legislature will look at universal basic income. Switching topics, I ask all of you to please vote no on Resolution 644. That's the resolution giving the pharmacy, the Albany County Pharmacy, to some big corporation. There are only 2 pharmacies applied for this contract. Lincoln Pharmacy was the other one. Lincoln Pharmacy is a local pharmacy in this Albany South End. They provide absolutely excellent service. I can't tell you how much they mean in terms of providing service to people in Albany South End, and I'm sure they can do the same thing in the, with the contract with Albany County. The Albany County Legislature really needs to support small businesses. Albany South End is poverty-stricken, and we need our pharmacy, and our pharmacy is really good. And they helped me when I went through my cancer adventure. They were absolutely wonderful to me. I can't tell you how wonderful they were.
15
so my
seconds.
hope is that you will vote no on Resolution 644. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Zarina Jalal.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Zarina Jalal. I'm the supervising pharmacist at Lincoln Pharmacy. I'm here to comment on Resolution 644. For the second time, this legislature is being asked to vote on an RFP for innovative pharmacy services, yet no pharmacist has been consulted in writing the RFP or evaluating the proposals. So without a subject matter expert, I'm not really sure how you can really define what true innovation looks like in pharmacy. But you know what, I'm not really even here to change your votes tonight. What I really want to do is voice my genuine concern, because while the proposal that Lincoln Pharmacy put forth may have some implementation challenges, that's what true innovation looks like. This isn't something that one side can do alone. It's a team effort, and everyone, the county, the pharmacy, the providers, everyone has to be in it to win it, and that's why I haven't mounted the same response that I did last time, because I just don't think that every party is truly committed to innovation or innovative pharmacy services. But really what my main concern is that you have patients at the Department of Mental Health, our most vulnerable patients in this community, missing out on services that they are entitled to with Medicare. And as elected officials serving this community, it is your responsibility to advocate for their rights. And quite honestly, this issue is much bigger than this one pharmacy proposal. The city of Albany has lost 10 pharmacies in the last 8 years, with another one set to close soon. And this is happening because pharmacy benefit managers like Optum Rx, which is a parent company for Genoa, dominate the system. A recent audit by the Mississippi Board of Pharmacy found that Optum,
15
which
seconds.
is Genoa's parent company, routinely reimburses their own pharmacies 30 times more than others, making it nearly impossible for competitors to survive. By keeping pharmacy services in-house, you are allowing a Fortune 5 company to cherry-pick the most profitable scripts in our community and simultaneously limiting patients' access to them to the hours that the clinic is open. If you want truly innovative, community-centered services, you need to lean on the talent and resources that exist in this community. If you want business to thrive and succeed in this community, you need to keep supporting local businesses. So thank you. Have a nice night.
Thank you.
Catherine Kuhn.
Hello, my name is Catherine Coons. I'm a New York State licensed speech pathologist. I have a master's degree in speech language pathology. I was here last spring representing the independent contractors of speech, occupational, and physical therapy to the preschool population of Albany County, which is comprised of 3 to 5-year-olds. I was there to inform you that we had not seen a rate increase since the program was started in 1981. No pay increase for the past 43 years. Since then, we have received a $3 increase, which is a start, but is not enough to bring in new therapists into this profession or retain current therapists. By working with preschool children, we are able to reach them during critical times in their development. As a speech therapist, I can tell you that the brain is primed to learn language during the preschool years. The longer the child waits to receive services, the harder it is for them to catch up. When a child does not receive services at the preschool level, their service needs get pushed into the elementary school, where the school speech therapist has often over 50 children on their caseload. These children are seen in groups and are pulled out of class learning time. Since seeing the child during the preschool years, they are able to be seen one-on-one with a therapist, and often their problems are remediated by the time they reach kindergarten. It is only the second week in November, and I'm already receiving weekly emails to pick up kids not receiving services. You can ask any secretary at any school district in Albany County, and they will tell you there are already wait lists for children waiting to receive services. We should not have to do this. We should not have to lobby to get a pay increase at all, but then after 43 years, only get $3. Our jobs are important, and the expenses that are factored into our rate are significant. Health insurance, retirement, gas, wear and tear on our cars, and then all the regular costs of living that have significantly increased over the past 43 years. Personally, I pay $650 a month for health insurance, and then I have to meet a $6,500 deductible. The independent preschool providers need to be paid a fair wage of living and have regular pay increases that correspond with the increase in the cost of living.
15 seconds.
I'm sorry, but a $3 increase after 43 years is a start, but not enough. No one will do this job if this continues. How can you explain all the other expenditures that Albany County seems to have money for, but not for Albany County's children who are going without services? Our jobs are important, and Albany County's children are important. We serve children with autism, severe motor delays, and severe unintelligibility. Please consider increasing our rate now and factor in regular pay increases in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Heather Pazzaretti.
Good evening. My name is Heather Passaretti. I'm an occupational therapist for preschoolers as well. An occupational therapist is a health professional who basically helps all ages be functional in their environment. I'm here to make you aware that, although Catherine just did this for us, that Albany County preschoolers with disabilities are on the rise and therapists who service them are declining. As you heard, we have been given a $3 raise after 43 years. We are grateful for this increase, but we continue to have a hard time with paying our bills due to inflation and not getting paid in a timely manner. That's really another problem that we are having. It takes 4 to 6 weeks to get a check in the mail. We need these issues addressed so that we can retain the therapists we have in Albany County, as well as lure in new ones. There are no excuses why we do not deserve the same pay rate as early intervention. They are currently making $65 a session. There is also no excuse why we cannot get direct deposit when every worker in Albany County does. That includes the people who work for one day to host the voting booth. Saratoga County currently pays their therapists through direct deposit, so it's clear this is an option that is being denied to only us. We were told that if we were given the same wage as early intervention, then providers would leave EI for CPSE. This is not a fact, and there is no evidence to prove that. Currently, I am contracted with EI and CPSE, and I'm accepting more EI students now because the pay is increased and I get paid in 2 weeks via direct deposit. It is my understanding that Albany County currently has a waiting list of 236 preschoolers that need program, occupational, physical, or speech therapy. We don't have enough therapists to service these children. It is difficult to convince young therapists to go into the pediatric field. What incentives can we offer them? We don't get any benefits, no health insurance, no paid time off. We don't get paid on time, so it's really difficult
15
to tell
seconds.
students to come into this field. We are just hoping to get a competitive wage. Help us resolve this community issue by supporting us so we can continue to support the children of Albany County. Thank you.
Thank you.
Camille Bushel.
Hi, my name is Camille Bushell. I'm a speech-language pathologist, also have been here twice last year, and working with preschool children. We are asking for a fair rate of pay. This can be done through an increase in therapy rate, which we did get the $3, which we feel was not adequate, or we can, what I'm asking for is more billing codes. Currently, we are paid for each therapy session. We use one code to bill for therapy. However, the scope of work is far more extensive. For example, we provide essential services to teachers, such as classroom materials, strategies that maximize the child's strengths, strategies that build target skills, strategies that minimize maladaptive behaviors. None of this is billable time. We have no billing codes for this. Therapists beyond pre-K, such as kindergarten and up, consult with teachers regularly on paid time. We do it on our time. For example, if I spend 5 minutes with a teacher after each session, and I have 3 sessions a week, that's 15 minutes a week, an hour a month. Say I have 15 kids, that's 15 hours a month of my time. Same thing applies with a parent. Parent contact. Parent conferences are not billable. I have parent contact on a session basis, per session basis. When you're dealing with a 3-year-old, you're working with as a team. And again, no billing code for the parent contact. Every therapist, kindergarten and up, talks to parents on paid time. I do it on my personal time. Same thing about attending meetings. Each child has a minimum
15 seconds.
of 1 meeting. Again, no code to attend the meeting, and all the other therapists, kindergarten and up, do it on paid time. Same thing for writing the IEP, which is a very crucial legal document, specifies the program for the following year. Again, extensive amount of work, no code for that. All the other therapists do it on paid time, kindergarten and up. So there's 2 ways to do this. One was we got at the $3, which was not adequate. Another way is to provide fair pay for us with additional billing codes.
Thank you.
There are no more speakers.
Do you have any other listed on the?
No.
No?
No more speakers.
Yes.
Thanks for having me this evening. My name is Bill Hamill. I'm the co-owner of the Capital Region Real Estate Investors Association. I was notified today about the EPIC bill proposal, and our organization has completely been unaware of this until this afternoon. My understanding of it is earmarking one side of a civil matter is fundamentally flawed. I have to repeat that. Earmarking money for one side of a civil matter perverts the legal process. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Can you sign in, please?
Absolutely.
Is there anyone else in the chamber who wishes to speak?
Good evening, everyone. As most of you know, I'm Patricia Sibilia. I'm with the League of Women Voters of Albany County. This election year has been a challenging one for many of us, particularly with the high volume of registrations and the major efforts to get out the vote. We want to thank this legislature for several things. We've had a lot of firsts this year in a bunch of ways. One, your bipartisan funding of a grant that gave us bus ads. We were hearing back how important that was and how it was really seen throughout the communities that really needed to see that. In addition, you're recognizing us for National Voter Registration Day was very, very warming to our hearts, and we appreciate that. At the same time, we always love the sticker contest and are great to have you guys with partnerships with us and the NAACP on that. And it really, as a poll worker, as a poll inspector, when I explained the sticker to people, it actually touched them quite a bit. So it wasn't just the youth that was engaged, it was the public as well. But I also want to thank the Board of Elections who, again, we had a lot of firsts with them. For the first time this year, our high school registration process included them going out to the high schools and bringing equipment and explaining things so that these new voters could actually witness what it's like and have their questions answered. That was a major step forward. They also allowed us to assist with early voting on those very heavy days. It was a pleasure to stand there with the rows of people who wrapped around the building, waiting to go in, putting the handicapped and those disabled first, but more so, giving me time to review and have people check their registrations if they recently registered or hadn't voted in a while, and explaining how to fill out the ballot so that it wouldn't error when there was an overcount in a column, in a race. And also, Today was a first for us again with the Board of Elections. We participated in their audit. We're supposed to observe. We did more than observe in that we got so many questions answered and understood so much of the process of what happens when the polls close and what happens afterwards. And it was very much an enlightening experience and a very good one. You could see how organized the Board of Elections were. We appreciate this partnership and we look forward to continuing it in the years to come. And I want to take a minute to personally thank my legislator, Sean Ward, for all his work over the many years and always being available to answer all my many questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the chamber who wishes to speak? The public forum is now closed. Before we call tonight's meeting to order, we will have 2 post-public forum meetings that will take place in the ante room. We will start with the Law Committee. like to call the November 12th legislative meeting to order. I'd like to ask, oh, where's Sean? Like to ask Sean Ward to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance for your last time. Clerk, please call the roll.
Beston.
Here.
Ardorf.
Here.
Clay. Clary.
Here.
Collins. Camiso. Conway. Cunningham.
Here.
Demolowitz. Drake. Efacoro. Ethier. Feeney. Fine. Grimm. Andrew Joyce. Ray Joyce. Kuhn. Larilliard. Lakakis. Lockhart. Moriello. Mayo. McLaughlin. McLean Lane. Miller. Petto. Pearlie. Plosky. Reedy. Reinhardt. Ricard. Robinson. Rosano. Simpson. Smith. Ward. Whalen. Willingham. I have 35 present.
Clerk, please read 628.
Authorizing an agreement with CNS Engineers regarding architect and engineer consulting services for the 112 State Street 7th floor renovation project.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 630, please.
Authorizing an agreement with the Legal Aid Society of Northeastern New York and Alternatives to Economic and Housing Displacement regarding the Eviction Prevention Intervention Collaborative.
Mr. Drake.
Thank you. I rise in confusion. My understanding that when this was last voted down, there would be an effort that would be made to include representation for property owners in, I guess, that side of this contract and civil dispute. I know several legislators joined me in that, concern. It's my understanding then that a request for proposal was created, seeking to find either an agency or a legal firm willing to implement or apply to implement the offering to help provide representation to property owners. It then seems that the final draft of this does not include any of that. And in fact, it includes sort of a nebulous question about, in my mind here, it approves a total of $311,000 was in the RFP, but then the final resolution approves $60,000 for intervention services, meaning legal services, and $151,000 in potential arrears awards to help settle outstanding debts. All laudable goals. But it says not to exceed in there $311,000. I can only assume that that extra $100,000 was money that was originally set up for intervention. But I'm hoping someone can provide clarity on that. Either way, it's my understanding that this request for proposal was unanswered, and therefore it does not mention in here, as far as I can tell, any representation for property owners. So I rise, essentially in opposition to any proposal that takes one side over another in a civil contract dispute. And therefore, if we're going to provide legal services to one party, we should be providing them to the other. So if I have misread, and anyone that I've spoken to has misread this, and that we are in fact providing those legal services to property owners, I will stand corrected. But as far as I can tell, the approval in this is only for legal aid
So I certainly invite other members of this body to set the record straight and explain to me how it is that the property owners will be assisted by this. Thank you.
Mr. Ward?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I too shared disappointment in this issue. As you know, I've been very vocal about the need that both sides should be represented. However, upon checking, I found out that no one answered the RFP for representing the landlords. And that, although problematic, I don't think there's anything that was done, that was not done by our legislature in trying, or staff in trying to make that happen. So what I would like to do, this is my last meeting, as you all know, I'd like to leave with the thought that maybe this legislature can continue to work on this issue, because I firmly believe that when two parties go to court and one is represented, that the other should have an opportunity to be represented as well. So I'm going to vote yes for this, because I think the intent was there to get this program rolling as and to take care of the issues that we brought up about legal representation. I can't talk. Representation for both sides. However, there still has to be some work done, so we could probably solicit someone to answer that bid. So, thank you.
Mr. Bergdorf?
Madam Chairwoman, I find myself tonight, it's a little bit of deja vu. We're back to when we considered this 8, 9 months ago, or whenever it was. And it didn't quite make it because over 50% of us felt that if we were going to get involved in civil matters, it had to be a balanced approach. It had to be both for landlords' benefits, small landlords, many of us were concerned with. I don't know any other place that I rent out. Many people here, I guess, are landlords, and they know the problems that small landlords face. During that time, we were convinced that there was going to be an RFP that was going to include both sides of the equation, landlords and tenants. Since that happened, there's all sorts of legislative proposals at the state level and other counties for rent control. Well, we find out that in Albany County, for the people who want rent control, they can't even have it because there are so many apartments that are available. This county doesn't even qualify for rent control. So there are apartments and rentals available. So that would seem to me to show a bit of a softening of the market. But still, the small landlords are at a loss here. I agree with Sean. I think this needs to go back. It needs to have more work. And I think we ought to send a message to our purchasing department that we will only accept an RFP where somebody comes in and makes a proposal for both. There's no reason that the Legal Aid Society, through a subcontract to another law provider, couldn't put something in which would be of benefit to the to the landlord community without it being a conflict. So I'm not going to vote for this because I think we're going down a rocky path. Because if we do this, what's the next step? Are we going to represent everybody in a small claims court when someone comes in to bring an action against them, either their neighbor or a store or a contract that they didn't fulfill? Where do we stop trying to help people and end up sticking it to the other party? That's just wrong. It's one thing in a assigned counsel situation where your liberty is at stake, but I got to tell you, in a civil case, I think this is terrible, and the only way I would have ever supported would it be if it was actually a balanced approach, which is this is not. So I'm going to vote no, and I would urge us to send this back
and say, give us what we all thought we were going to get, which was a balanced approach. And if it wasn't written that way to ensure that, it sure could be in the next iteration. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Bergdorf. Just to be abundantly clear, the RFP, there was no respondents to the RFP with regard to representing tenants or landlords. So if you're looking for a balanced approach, I would grant you that we have one, because that portion of the RFP was not responded to. The rental arrears and the advocacy part was responded to. Ms. McLean-Lane.
I'll start with, I am going to vote yes on this proposal. I did vote no last time. I did make an effort to present a possible solution, which was when a landlord presents to, one of eviction, that then that individual, the tenant, would be offered the opportunity through, means tested for an attorney. But if the landlord does not have an attorney, then, we can, forego offering. It would also make, if with the financial investment that we're making, it would also make our financial investment last longer. There is a benefit to landlords here in that it's covering their arrears, and generally that does not happen unless you unfortunately get a deal against someone and then you're garnishing their wages, which is very challenging. But the other 100,000, I think that's missing from here, you said 3011, is that correct, Mr. Drake? Was the 100,000, I believe, which is invested by the city of Albany, used by the city of Albany. I think that's line. Is that? I could be incorrect. I'm not.
That's right.
Is that correct?
Yes.
But but I do. I like the advocacy part of it very much, and I also think that the arrears is an incredible benefit to landlords who aren't made whole. Generally, usually when people run into trouble 2-3 months in, anybody who's a landlord here knows you're going to have a pretty tough time collecting those arrears. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Drake.
Thanks. I just kind of want to follow up. So I kind of wanted Mr. Ward to say that hey, nobody responded. To be clear, you heard a gentleman come in and speak this evening and say that he's with the largest. I mean, he might not have said that, but I know he's the largest, real estate investors group in the area, which is mostly populated by people who either own rental property or work in the rental property services industry, be you an exterminator, a lawyer, a gutter guy, a home inspector, or whatever. What I think is just interesting is that, I don't know if Mr. Feeney knows, but how many thousand attorneys operate in Albany County? I don't know the answer, but I gotta think there's a few. And it just seems surprising to me that if we're trying to get an RFP, well, how do we make people aware of this? This is certainly not a normal thing that someone would be looking for. It's a pioneer program. So I doubt people are combing, the Altamont Enterprise, classifieds for this. So, did we reach out to other landlord tenant groups? Did we reach out to Legal Aid and United Tenants and ask them who they work with? Did we reach out to the Albany County Bar Association and seek somebody who might be able to provide these services? I know there's hundreds, if not thousands, of lawyers qualified to do eviction, defense or prosecution. It just seems odd that we would throw up our hands and say, well, let's just vote on this now because we couldn't find anybody. I know no one called the attorney I've been working with recently. Not that I'm suggesting you call each and every attorney, but these associations can certainly get the word out to their memberships. And I would guarantee you, if you asked that gentleman who came in, if he could recommend 2 to 3 people who might be able to fulfill this proposal request, he would give you those names. So it seems incumbent upon us to do a little bit better job, if I may, of reaching out to find that information. And I think someone is correct. The 100,000 is from the city of Albany, but all of that money appears to have gone to the programs for the benefit of the renter. Now, the case was made. I think Ms. McLean made the case that the arrears money is very is valuable to both parties, and But I just want to consider, as I mentioned last time, I want to consider, or you to consider, that about $100,000 or even $150,000 is probably going to be used in a day in all these cities. Let's not even talk about it. Because there is so much money that gets, people are waiting months and months and months by the time they get to court. If it's $1,000 rent and it's 6 months later, that's $6,000. Then you got $1,500, $1,800 for an attorney fee and so on and so forth. It adds up fast, okay? So I understand it's laudable to offer arrears assistance, but it probably isn't gonna put a big dent. You know, it's not gonna plug the hole in that sinking boat. I mean, let's just be honest, it's great, but it isn't gonna be a panacea for anybody. Whereas if the dollars are used for defense, that $1,000 or $500 or whatever contractual rate it is, will go a lot farther and help a lot more property owners, right? So we could be using the money much more effectively for the benefit of both sides of this contractual dispute. And, you know, the last thing I would just point out is that while I agree that Legislator McLean's idea of maybe not kind of waving in the face free representation when a property owner doesn't have it, that makes sense, except this body will probably recall one thing I pointed out as a glaring flaw in this whole thing, is that most property owners are represented by an attorney not by choice, but by decree of the state court system and the administrative judge rules, okay? Because if you have any corporate interest as the ownership of that property, it could be, you know, Todd Drake LLC, you must have an attorney present in our unified court system.
Thank you, Mr. Drake. Mr. Demolowitz.
Thank you. Mr. Drake, in running ahead, I suspect that the reason a lot of lawyers didn't apply to this is because they're LLC representing and getting paid on the other end. Here's the simple fact. I talk to a lot of landlords. I'm a landlord here, a landlord. The big landlords I talk to, they like the fact that when they go to a court that someone's represented by a lawyer, because it makes it easier for them to make sure that anything that they agree to is withheld. So none of them had a problem, because they thought that was going to make their life easier in court, that they had representation. But as far as the small landlord, I agree with Sean and everyone that we should still look at some way to come back to help that small landlord. I don't know, we can come back next month, anyone here put a resolution in, you know, and try to do another RFP for another RFP so that they can specifically target attorneys that might want to represent the landlords in this. I suspect the same thing will happen. I have full faith in the purchasing department. They have done a wonderful job in making sure and making everybody aware of our wants and needs. And in this situation, nobody wanted it. So, thank you.
Thank you. Long roll call. Mr. Graham, please.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I understand the RFP didn't work out, and I appreciate putting the RFP for tenants and landlords. I know that was a positive move. But the bottom line is it didn't work out, and this legislation is still slanted in favor of the tenants. And the government, we're trying to help here, I appreciate that. But help depends on what side of the table you're sitting on. It's not help for the landlord to favor one side over the other. This is government interference in a civil dispute between two parties. And there's no way around it. It's not fair. We heard a realtor tonight say he just heard about this and earmarking money for one side was unfair. Now, yes, we have a housing problem, but making it more difficult on landlords is not going to help the housing problem. I've talked to landlords after COVID. Their mom and pop landlords, they get out of the landlord business because COVID was a tough time, but a lot of people took advantage of it. He had one case, he said he had a state worker said he's having a hard time. Well, no, I don't know any state worker got laid off during COVID. So that was a case of taking advantage. So really the complex problem of housing has to be dealt with in a balanced way between tenant and landlord. And I don't think this legislation represents that. Thank you.
Thank you. Long roll call, please.
Beston.
Favor.
Bergdorf.
Opposed.
Clary.
Favor.
Camiso.
Yes.
Conway.
No.
Cunningham.
Yes.
Demolowitz.
Yes.
Drake.
No.
Epicoro.
Yes.
Ethier.
Yes.
Feeney.
Yes.
Fine.
Yes.
Grimm.
No.
Andrew Joyce.
Yes.
Ray Joyce.
Yes.
Larilliard.
Yes.
Lakakis.
Happily, yes.
Lockhart.
No.
Mariello.
No.
Mayo.
Yes.
McLaughlin.
Yes.
McLean Lane.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Petto. Pearlie.
No.
Plosky.
Yes.
Reedy.
Yes.
Reinhardt.
Yes.
Ricard.
Aye.
Robinson.
Yes.
Rosano.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Smith.
No.
Ward.
Yes.
Whalen.
No.
Willingham.
Yes.
Have 27 yes, 9 no.
Resolution passes. Clerk, please read 631.
Public hearing on proposed local law number Q for 2024, local law of the County of Albany, New York, creating chapter blank of the Albany County Code regarding the creation of the Albany County Office of Assigned Counsel.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 644, please.
Authorizing an agreement with Genoa Healthcare regarding pharmacy services at the Department of Mental Health.
Mr. Drake.
Thank you. I just wanted to quickly recognize a few things here. We very often talk about buy local farmers markets or, products and so forth. In this case, we're failing to do that. You heard Ms. Shalal up here tonight, and you heard about Lincoln Pharmacy's longstanding commitment to the community. And we did pass up an opportunity again to work with a local vendor, a constituent of all of ours, someone committed to the community with a long-standing generational history of serving it. On that basis alone, I must oppose this. Supporting multinational or national corporations over our own right here in the community really flies in the face of what I think many of us believe in. The other thing that and I have spoken with Dr. Giordano, whom I respect, and I got some information about this, and I understand that there are challenges. Some of the innovations that were proposed by Lincoln Pharmacy, in the Lincoln Pharmacy proposal. And, the idea of better outcomes, better patient services, filling a gap of missing services, taking advantage of Medicare options, these are all really good things. And they do require some extra work. And I know that there were some objections on the part of the Department of Mental Health. I understand that multiple people reviewed these proposals there, and I didn't speak to each of them, so I don't know who was in favor, who wasn't, what the positives and negatives were. But just looking at it on the face of it and what we've heard and what we could read, I think we need to do a better job working with our local providers who understand the needs of our community and are advocating for them versus a national company who has no interest in this area other than for profit. Thank you.
Thank you. All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution, one, Todd Drake. Anyone else? Ms. McLaughlin, Mr. Simpson, Mr. Fine. Let's do a long roll call, please.
Beston.
Yes.
Bergdorf.
Yes.
Clary.
Yeah.
Camiso.
Yes.
Conway.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes.
Demolowitz.
Yes.
Drake.
No.
Epicoro.
No.
Ethier.
Yes.
Feeney.
Yes.
Fine.
No.
Grimm.
Yes.
Andrew Joyce.
Yes.
Ray Joyce.
Yes.
Larilliard.
Yes.
Lakakis.
Yes.
Lockhart.
Yes.
Mariello.
Yes.
Mayo.
Yes.
McLaughlin. McLean Lane.
Yes.
Miller. Petto. Pearlie.
No.
Pulaski. Did she leave? Confusing me. Reedy.
Yes.
Reinhardt.
Yes.
Ricard.
Aye.
Robinson.
No.
Rosano.
Yes.
Simpson.
No.
Smith.
No.
Ward.
Yes.
Whalen.
No.
Willingham.
Yes.
I have 26 yes, 9 no.
Resolution passes. Please read 645.
Authorizing an agreement with WB Mason for the purchase of office equipment and amending the 2024 Department of Health budget.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution passes. 646, please.
Authorizing an agreement with Tyler Technologies regarding the purchase of environmental health module software.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. We can group items 647 through 652. Can I have a motion to group? Ms. Lockhart, Mr. Demolowitz, second. All those in favor of grouping? Any opposed? Unanimous. On items 647 through 652, all those in favor? Any opposed? Those resolutions pass. Okay. It looks like we can group items 653 to 663. Can I have a motion to group? Mr. Ricard, and a second, Ms. McLean Lane. All those in favor of grouping 653 through 663? Any opposed? Unanimous on grouping those items. On the items 653 to 663, all those in favor? Any opposed? Those resolutions pass. Okay. 664. Clerk, please read 664.
Authorizing an agreement for reentry services with the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services and amending the 2024 Department of Mental Health budget.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 665.
Authorizing an agreement with the United States Department of Justice, Office of Justice Programs, Bureau of Justice Assistance regarding the Justice and Mental Health Collaboration Program grant and amending the 2024 Department of Mental Health budget.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 666.
Amending an agreement with Flock Safety regarding the permitting, installation, and maintenance of license plate reader cameras.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 667, please.
Authorizing the submission of a grant application to an agreement with the State of New York Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services regarding the 2023 Domestic Terrorism Prevention Program grant and amending the 2024 Sheriff's Office budget.
Thank you. Mr. Joyce? Yes, any other abstentions? All those in favor, noting one abstention by Mr. Joyce. Any opposed? Resolution passes with one abstention. 668.
Authorizing an agreement with Pittsfield Communication System regarding the preventive maintenance and service of two-way radios.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 669.
Amending the 2024 Sheriff's Office budget, Community Project Funding Grant.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 670.
Amending the 2024 Sheriff's Office budget, personnel changes.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 671.
Amending the 2024 Sheriff's Office budget, vehicle replacement.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 672, please.
Authorizing an intergovernmental agreement regarding the Burn Justice Assistance Grant Program funding.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 673.
Authorizing an agreement with Motorola Solutions regarding upgrading and expanding a multi-county radio project.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 674, please.
Amending the 2024 Sheriff's Office budget year-end adjustments.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 675.
Amending the 2024 Sheriff's Office budget, body-worn cameras and wellness solution expenses.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 676.
Authorizing an agreement with Allied Universal Electronic Monitoring, US, regarding global position system services.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 677, please.
Authorizing an agreement with the New York State Department of State regarding the Local Government Efficiency Grant Program.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 678.
Amending the 2024 District Attorney's Office budget, salary adjustments.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 679.
Authorizing an agreement with Aquarius Capital Solutions Group regarding actuarial services.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 680.
Authorizing an agreement with M&T Bank regarding banking services.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 681.
Authorizing an agreement with Hash and Russ regarding bond counsel services.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 682.
Authorizing an agreement with Capital Market Advisors regarding financial advisory services.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 683, please.
Authorizing an agreement with BST and Company CPAs regarding independent auditing services.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. Okay, 684, please.
Supplemental bond resolution dated November 12, 2024, a resolution amending certain terms of bond resolution number 152 of 2024 of the County of Albany, New York, adopted March 11, 2024, authorizing various capital improvements for county-owned garages and parking facilities, stating the estimated maximum cost thereof is $3 million, appropriating said amount therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $3 million of serial bonds of said county to finance a portion of said appropriation.
Long roll call.
Beston.
In favor.
Bergdorf.
Aye.
Clary.
Yes.
Camiso.
Yes.
Conway.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Here, yes.
Demolowitz. Drake.
Yes.
Efacoro.
Yes.
Ethier.
Yes.
Feeney.
Yes.
Fine.
Yes.
Grimm.
Yes.
Andrew Joyce.
Yes.
Ray Joyce.
Yes.
Lilliard.
Yes.
Lakakis.
Yes.
Lockhart.
Yes.
Mariello. Mayo.
Yes.
McLaughlin.
Yes.
McLean Lane.
Yes.
Miller. Petto. Pearlie.
Yes.
Reedy.
Yes.
Reinhardt. Ricard. Robinson. Rosano.
Yes.
Simpson. I know he's here. Smith.
Yes.
Ward.
Yes.
Whalen.
Yes.
Willingham.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Okay, 685, and by the way, the bond council got us the updated language, which is, should be at your desk for 684, 685, and 686. It's also updated in Granicus. Read 685, please.
Bond resolution of the County of Albany, New York, authorizing the purchase of stretcher-capable vans for transportation of residents of Shaker Place Rehabilitation and Nursing Center to off-site appointments, stating the estimated maximum cost thereof is $250,000, appropriating said amount, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $250,000 of serial bonds of said county to finance said appropriation.
Long roll call?
Beston.
Yes.
Bergdorf.
Yes.
Clary.
Yes.
Camiso. Conway.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes.
Demolowitz. Drake. Efficoro. Ethier. Feeny. Fine. Graham. Andrew Joyce. Ray Joyce. LaRilliard. Lakakis. Lockhart. Muriello. Mayo. McLaughlin. McLean Lane. Miller. Petto. Pearlie. Reedy. Reinhardt. Ricard. Robinson. Rosano. Smith. Ward.
Yes.
Whalen. Willingham. Unanimous.
Resolution passes. Please read 686.
Bond resolution of the County of Albany, New York, authorizing purchasing food service, cafe, and distribution equipment for Shaker Place Rehabilitation and Nursing Center, and converting employee dining area to a multi-use cafe with equipment to prepare, store, and sell food to staff at the nursing home, stating the estimated maximum cost thereof is $500,000, appropriating said amount therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $500,000 of serial bonds of said county to finance said appropriation.
Long roll call?
Beston.
In favor.
Bergdorf. Clary. Camiso. Conway. Cunningham.
Yes.
Demolowitz. Drake. Efficoro. Ethier. Feeny. Fine. Grimm. Andrew Joyce. Ray Joyce. LaRilliard. Lakakis. Lockhart. Muriello. Mayo. McLaughlin. McLean Lane. Miller. Petto. Pearlie. Pulaski. Oh, sorry, she's not here. Reedy. Reinhardt. Ricard. Robinson. Rosano. Simpson. Smith. Ward. Whalen. Willingham. Unanimous.
Resolution passes. Please read 687.
Amending resolution numbers 489 and 490 for 2021 as amended regarding New York State Homes and Community Renewal, Community Development Block Grant CARES Act funding.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 688.
Authorizing the conveyance of real property located at 204 15th Street in the city of Waterville.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 689.
Authorizing an agreement regarding the Albany County Healthcare Consortium.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 690.
Authorizing the submission of a grant application to an agreement with the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services regarding the Crimes Against Revenue Program.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 691, please.
Authorizing the submission of a grant application to an agreement with the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services regarding the gun-involved violence and elimination grant and amending the 2024 District Attorney's Office budget.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 692.
Authorizing the submission of a grant application to an agreement with the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services regarding the Motor Vehicle Theft and Assurance Fraud Prevention Program.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 693.
Authorizing an agreement with the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services regarding the Aid to Prosecution Grant and amending the 2024 District Attorney's Office budget.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 694.
Authorizing a lease agreement with MVP Health Plan regarding suite number 2 at the MVP Arena.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 695.
Authorizing an agreement with Cone regarding elevator restoration services for the Spruce Street Parking Garage Improvement Project.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 696.
Authorizing an agreement with MCT Services regarding the Hall of Records ramp and stair replacement project.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 697.
Amending Resolution Number 500 for 2021 regarding construction management services for the Capital District Juvenile Detention Facility.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 698.
Authorizing an agreement with James Malloy regarding the 8 Mile Creek Culvert Replacement Project beneath Sunset Hill Road.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 699.
Authorizing an agreement with Tracy Road Equipment regarding the purchase of a Western Star tandem dump truck.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 700, please.
Authorizing an agreement with JMT of New York regarding design and construction inspection services for the Old Quarry Road Bridge Construction Project.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 701.
Authorizing an agreement with Stephenson Equipment regarding the purchase of a Lee Boy Road widener and amending the 2024 Department of Public Works budget.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 702, please.
Amending Resolution Number 17 for 2023 regarding the Watervliet Shaker Road roadway improvement project.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 703.
Authorizing an agreement with the New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee regarding the Child Passenger Safety Program.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 704, please.
Authorizing an agreement with American Rock Salt Company regarding the purchase of road salt.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 705.
Authorizing an agreement with the New York State Department of Transportation regarding winter maintenance on state roads.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 706.
Authorizing an agreement with the New York State Department of Transportation regarding the 2022, 2023, and 2023-2024 winter road maintenance seasons.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 707.
Authorizing an agreement with CSX Transportation regarding design and construction of a quiet zone at the Village of Voorheesville Railroad crossings.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. Congratulations, Mr. Reinhardt.
Thank you.
We can group items 708 through 718. Can I have a motion to group those items? Ms. McLean Lane, seconded by Ms. Lakakis. All those in favor of grouping 708 through 718? Any opposed? Unanimous on grouping. On the items themselves, 708 through 718, all those in favor? Any opposed? Those resolutions pass. Okay. 719.
Authorizing an agreement with the Dormitory Authority of the State of New York regarding the construction of a quiet zone at railroad crossings in the Village of Voorheesville and amending the 2024 Department of Public Works budget.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 720.
Authorizing a utility easement to Niagara Mohawk Power Corporation regarding the installation of utilities on property located at 770 and 780 Albany Shaker Road.
Mr. Joyce? Thank you. Noting Mr. Joyce's abstention, all those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes with one abstention. 721.
Amending the 2024 Department of Children, Youth, and Families budget, administrative adjustments.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 722.
Authorizing an agreement with Gilboa Conesville Central School District for preschool evaluation services for a child with special needs.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 723.
Authorizing an agreement regarding the Domestic Violence Advocate Program and amending the 2024 Department for Children, Youth, and Families budget.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 724.
Authorizing an agreement with Bright Side Up regarding family daycare and child care provider registration and inspection services.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 725.
Authorizing an agreement between the Departments of Social Services and Mental Health regarding services for safety net and temporary assistance for needy family applicants and recipients.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 726.
Authorizing agreements regarding moving and storage services for eligible temporary assistance recipients.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 727.
Authorizing an agreement with providers of home establishment furnishings.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 728.
Authorizing an agreement with Equinox regarding residential domestic violence services.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 729.
Authorizing an agreement with the Montgomery County Chapter NYSARC DBA Liberty Arc for the provision of employment success coaching.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 730.
Authorizing an agreement with the Altamont Program regarding employment services for temporary assistance for needy families and safety net recipients.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 731.
Authorizing capital improvements at the Shaker Heritage Site.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 732.
Authorizing an agreement with the New York State Office of Information Technology Services regarding upgrades to aerial imaging of Albany County.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 733.
Authorizing an agreement with Horan, Martello, and Maroon CPAs regarding ongoing accounting and consulting services at the Shaker Place Rehabilitation and Nursing Center.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 734.
Authorizing an agreement with Pivotal for resident television programming services at the Shaker Place Rehabilitation and Nursing Center.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 735.
Authorizing an agreement with Celtic Consulting regarding minimal data set consulting services for the Shaker Place Rehabilitation and Nursing Center.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 736.
Amending the 2024 Department for Aging budget, mobile office.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 737.
Authorizing an agreement with Senior Projects of Ravenna regarding congregate meal services for seniors.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 738.
Authorizing an agreement with Life Path regarding congregate meal services for seniors.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 739.
Authorizing an agreement with Colony Senior Service Centers regarding congregate meal services for seniors.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 740.
Authorizing an agreement with Life Path regarding home delivered meals for seniors.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 741.
Authorizing an agreement with Peter Young Industries regarding home delivered meals for seniors.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 742.
Authorizing an agreement with Senior Projects of Ravenna regarding home delivered meals for seniors.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 743.
Authorizing an agreement with Life Path regarding adult day services for seniors.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 744.
Authorizing an agreement with Access Transit regarding transportation services for eligible seniors.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 745.
Authorizing an agreement with the New York State Office of Indigent Legal Services regarding the second statewide expansion of the Harold Herring settlement and amending the 2024 alternate public defender's office budget.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 746.
Amending Resolution Number 185 for 2024 regarding the Distribution Number 12 grant and amending the 2024 Albany County budget.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 747.
Authorizing an agreement with Axon Enterprise regarding digital evidence storage and management.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 748.
Public hearing on the closeout of the Community Development Block Grant CARES Act program.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 749.
Public hearing on proposed modifications to Agricultural District Number 2.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 750.
Amending various resolutions regarding the disbursement of American Rescue Plan funding.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 751.
Amending the Albany County Legislative Rules of Order.
We're going to refer that to the Rules Reform Committee. 752, please.
Establishing a standard workday for retirement reporting purposes.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. Local laws, local law M, please. Can you read that,
A
please?
local law of the County of Albany, New York, amending Chapter 288 of the Albany County Code regarding the welfare and safety of pets and vehicles.
Long roll call, please. Oh, Ms. Yep, we'll add Mr. Reedy, Ms. McLean Lane. Anyone else? Mr. Ward, do you want to say anything?
If you want me to.
We'd
I
always
thought you
like
was
to.
going pretty smooth here. So, I will readily admit this is probably not the most impactful legislation that I've ever presented here, but it might be the one that makes the most sense. We would never allow our child to drive on a driver's lap in a vehicle. Yet, the law provides that a pet owner can allow a pet to drive on a driver's lap. So this law is just a common sense law. It started out where the penalties were a little severe, admittedly, and working with some of my colleagues here, Mr. Bergdorf especially, I think we have softened it a little bit where it's a little more palatable for most people. We cut the fines in half, we took out the threat of imprisonment. And we also worked with the sheriff, who was very eager to take on a marketing campaign for this purpose. And it was, we were just talking about it in committee, Public Safety Committee, and the reality is that this marketing campaign is geared toward Albany County, but it would also work itself out to adjoining counties and maybe even statewide so that the awareness can be made on a wider level. And we need, I need to say first that this legislation idea, this wasn't something I just thought up. This is something that came to us from law enforcement as they had seen increases in this on our own roadways. And it was also brought up in committee, and I know that our staff has researched that this is a big issue in other states, that there is some laws that are being considered in other states. Florida has a big issue with it. I know some of the southern states. And I think, you know, a lot of times we react to tragedy with laws. And here we want to be a little proactive, start with a little marketing campaign to make this issue, make people aware of this issue, and hopefully it goes away and this does not become a trend that we see more of. So I'd ask my colleagues, in my last official time standing up before you, that we consider this common sense legislation that will make Albany County safer for both drivers, for pedestrians, and most of all our pets. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ms. McLean Lane.
I want to thank Mr. Ward for a wonderful piece of legislation. I wanted to just briefly bring to your attention that I recently had a friend who had the dogs asleep on her lap while driving. She actually got a ticket for distracted driving. So, you know, this also may help people prevent them from getting, you know, tickets. as having, a pet on your lap, et cetera. My cat once got out of my car, out of the bag in my car, and it was mayhem in my vehicle. So, I do think it's a good common sense idea, and I was proud to be able to have this.
Thank you, Mr. Bergdorf.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. Probably most of my day, I listen to a family member who is on the phone arranging pet adoptions and involved in animal advocacy, and so I'm probably more exposed to more dog, cat, and animal people than most. I have not heard one complaint about this law. Some of my colleagues say, they've gotten 5 phone calls, 7 phone calls. Well, I didn't get one. And I didn't get one or any constructive or destructive comments from anyone in the animal welfare community, which I took to be a pretty good sign. But the real reason, the secondary reason that I'm voting for this tonight is one of the reasons that we lauded Sean Ward for before. He's a gentleman legislator. When you go to Sean with concerns, he sits down and he figures out a way to resolve your concerns. And every concern that I raised in the law committee, he adjusted to. And I think I even, and I'm not going to speak for my rural colleagues, I was concerned about people with a 2-seat pickup truck, that they, in essence, you weren't going to be able to take your dog in your pickup truck because the front seat could be conceived as an area where the dog might distract you. Sean went out of his way, he worked with councils on both sides, I believe, and came up with a law that met 95% of any objections, and I'm not sure what the other 5% are, but I'm voting for this because perfection is the enemy of good, and this is good. It's good if it even says to the public, this is a problem that we recognize, and we're going to give you a warning ticket if you do it, but understand that you don't do this. And I kind of said as a joke when we started this, we talked about, somebody talked tonight about doing this in other jurisdictions. I spent some time on the New York State Thruway, going up and down, and I saw a person in a Honda Pilot with a parakeet on their shoulder, driving at 75 miles an hour. And somebody had told me they saw that guy too. And this legislation is far-sighted enough for everyone to realize that that's just not safe. It's not safe for the drivers, it's not safe for the passengers, and it's not safe for the animals. So, Madam Chairwoman, would you put me on as a sponsor? I am very grateful for Sean for taking this step forward, because I think it's a good day for the animal community in Albany County, and maybe the rest of the Capital Region will catch on. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Reinhardt, were you next? Did you have your hand up?
Yeah. I don't have a pet. I know some of my constituents do. And there's various, mostly pros, for why I support this. I just want to have it on the record that the reason I'm voting for this has nothing to do with the merits of it, because it's my goodbye gift to Sean.
Thank you, Mr. Ethier.
I originally, a little while ago, I was opposed to it. It's a great law, Sean. You did a great job, as you always do. But Sean didn't speak with me on the same thing. We always been firm believers that laws are passed and county repeals. It's hard to swallow, because sometimes I have a few years back, we passed a law here, just for Albany County law. The person who approached me said, Bill, thanks for passing that law. My son went over to Saratoga County to buy a pack of cigarettes in a car. Now, we had that law throughout the whole county, or the whole state. It's a different argument. But individual counties, to me, is always a question. But due to the fact, it's my old friend Connie, county legislator. I'll go beyond that when we play ball with my son and stuff like that. And he's been a good cause for our community. He's been a great legislator. And with that, I'm gonna put that aside, change my vote on committee, and I totally support your dogs on people's laps.
Thank you, Mr.
I
Ethier.
might stay around a while, this is pretty good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ethier. Believe it or not, Mr. Ward, on my drive here today, I saw a guy on Route 32 with a little dog in his lap at a red light, but on 32, which is a 55-mile-an-hour road, so. Long roll call, please.
Beston.
In favor.
Bergdorf.
Rough.
Clary. Camiso.
Yes.
Conway.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Meow.
Demalowitz. Drake. Efacoro.
Yes.
Ethier.
Yes.
Feeney.
Yes.
Fine.
Yes.
Grimm.
Yes.
Andrew Joyce. Ray Joyce. LaRilliard.
Yes.
Lakakis. Lockhart.
Yes.
Mariello.
Yes.
Mayo.
Yes.
McLaughlin. McLean Lane.
Yes.
Miller. Petto. Purley.
No.
Reedy.
Yes.
Reinhardt.
Yes.
Ricard.
Aye.
Robinson.
Yes.
Rosano.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Smith.
No.
Ward.
Yes.
Whalen.
Yes.
Willingham.
Yes.
31 yes, 4 no.
Okay, local law M passes. Okay, we now have a Rule 11 related to a post-public forum law committee item regarding the settlement of a lawsuit. Can I have a motion to invoke Rule 11? Ms. Lakakis, second Mr. Bergdorf. All those in favor of invoking Rule 11? Aye. Anyone opposed? Rule 11 is invoked. Okay, clerk, please read 753.
Authorizing the approval of payment in connection with litigation.
All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Resolution passes. Mr. Ward, would you like to offer the motion to
I
adjourn?
would very much like to make a motion to adjourn tonight. Thank
Can I
you
have a-
all, been a good ride.
Can I have a second?